This NBA season, much of the talk in the Western Conference has gravitated towards the record-setting OKC Thunder, the LA Lakers, and the Denver Nuggets, who have the best player in the universe, and even a sleeper team like the Golden State Warriors, and how Jimmy Butler has changed their fortunes. However, the LA Clippers have quietly won 8 of their last 10 games, which included a signature win over the Cleveland Cavaliers, now have Kawhi Leonard back, who is playing at an elite level, and have the coaching and personnel to make a deep run in the Western Conference. Here's just why the LA Clippers are a dark horse in the West. Before we begin, be sure to leave a like on the video, as that greatly supports me as a creator, and also be sure to sub to the channel for more content like this. The LA Clippers were a solid team earlier in the season due to the contributions of James Harden, Ivica Zubac, Norman Powell, etc., and the fact that the team has been elite defense all season. They have the 4th best defensive rating in the entire league at 110.4, allowed the 2nd fewest second chance points at 12.4 a game, allowed the 5th fewest points in the paint per game at 46.1, and are forcing opponents to shoot just 35% from 3, which is the 4th best mark in the league, while also having the 3rd best 3-point percentage differential. But the return of Kawhi Leonard has catapulted their ceiling to a completely different stratosphere. Kawhi isn't just back in terms of his physical presence, but he's actually looking like the game changer we've seen him to be in years past when he's been healthy. In the month of March, the Clippers went 9-4 in the 13 games in which they had Kawhi on the floor, and in those games, he averaged 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 1.8 steals on 52% from the field, and 39.7% from 3. He's not only easily getting to his spots and being the true assassin from mid-range as usual, but he's also been a great catch and shoot threat, hitting jumpers off the dribble, hitting difficult contested shots over some of the NBA's best defenders, and being an eraser on the defensive end by getting stops and forcing turnovers, while being a game changer on and off the ball. He's doing this while being ultra efficient as well. Albeit on a smaller sample size, he's shooting 73% within 5 feet of the basket this season, 48% from mid-range, and 39% on above the break threes. Kawhi actually looks like himself, which has to be a scary sight for the rest of the league, because Kawhi is easily a top 10 player in the league when healthy, and a force that can win you playoff games. Just disregarding the championships, the finals MVPs, and deep playoff runs of the past, if we just go back 2 years ago in the first round matchup against the Phoenix Suns, Kawhi completely showed out when the Clippers were down Paul George for that series. Through the first 2 games of that series in Phoenix against Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, he averaged 35 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals on 55, 60, 88 splits. And then he vanished. Of course, health does play a factor on the Clippers ceiling this season, but a healthy Kawhi Leonard means that they're competitive in any series. However, the Clippers have other threats that have helped them to have the 2nd best offense in the league over their last 10 games. In those 10 games, they've also had the 3rd best defense, the 2nd best net rating in the league, and had the 4th best net rating in the month of March. In his age 35 season, James Harden has actually been incredible as the system. You can look at just his field goal percentage for the season and write him off, but he's had to deal with Kawhi Leonard being out for much of the year, while having to take on primary ball handling responsibilities on a team without a plethora of creators. One of the more astonishing stats is that James Harden is the leading scorer in the NBA in isolation this season with respect to points per game at 8.9, generates 1.04 points per isolation possession, and is in the 84th percentile as an isolation scorer. However, he's still one of the best playmakers in the league at 8.6 assists a game and 21.2 assist points created. He can break down a defense, plays the defense in scramble mode, and uses the attention that he garners to create for others. He's still staying aggressive and getting to the line at 7 free throw attempts a game is still good for his scoring outbursts like the 50 points he dropped on a top 10 defense in Detroit Pistons on 6 made threes, and has even been better when Kawhi Leonard has been on the floor. In 31 games with Kawhi, Harden has averaged 22 points, 9.7 assists, and 5.2 rebounds on 58% true shooting, and in the month of March, he averaged 25, 9, and 5 on 62% true shooting. He's been an interesting pick-and-roll partner with Ivica Abdul-Jabbar, who is easily having the best season of his career. He's averaging a double-double of 16.5 points and 12.6 rebounds, 3.8 of which are offensive rebounds, which is good for the 4th best mark in the league, and 2.9 of those are contested offensive rebounds, which again is good for the 4th best mark in the league. And since All-Star break, he's averaging 19.5 points, 12.5 rebounds, is the first Clipper since 2011 Blake Griffin to record 50 double-doubles in a single season, and has emerged as one of the best post scorers in the league. His hook shot is practically automatic, he can hit floaters while also finishing well as a roller, and he's put together some monster stat lines, having a game where he dominated one of the best front courts in the league in the Cleveland Cavaliers and got the W, 28 points and 20 rebounds, with 8 of those being offensive. Zubac is also a respectable rim protector and is one of the top options on the team alongside Norman Powell. Powell remarked on how Paul George's departure in the offseason was addition by subtraction, and he stepped up to the plate while being one of the most efficient scorers in the NBA. He's averaged 22.5 points on a ridiculous 49% from the field and 43% from 3 on 7 attempts a game, 47% on 4 catch and shoot 3-point attempts a game, and 43% on 335 above the break 3-point attempts. He's a smooth, certified bucket getter who makes even the most difficult shots look easy, operating well off of screens, being able to create his own shots, and showing up in big moments for this team. The Clippers supporting cast extends to Bogdan Bogdanovic, who they acquired from the Atlanta Hawks at the trade deadline. He's a high IQ player who's elevated the team's offense due to his ability to operate as another ball handler and being an outside threat, hitting 40% of his threes on 5 3-point attempts a game since being in LA. Amir Coffey has been solid, Derrick Jones Jr. has brought it defensively while being a double-digit scorer on a career-best 37% from 3, and the team is led by one of the best X's and O's coaches in the league in Tyronn Lue. The Clippers have the personnel on both ends of the floor to go toe-to-toe with the best teams the Western Conference has to offer, and I wouldn't be surprised if they knocked off one of the top seeds in the conference in the first round, given the playoff experience of the veterans on the team, the ability of Ty Lue at being a master of in-game adjustments, and them having the talent of Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, who have proven in the past that they can win you games or even playoff series. However, I call the Clippers dark horse contenders for a reason, because the OKC Thunder have easily not only been the best team in the West, but they've been the best team in the NBA this season. They have a 35-11 record against the Western Conference this season, have the 2nd best net rating in NBA history, and have swept the LA Clippers this season, including a recent narrow win where Shea was far from his best, and J-Dub and Chet didn't even play. However, the playoffs aren't completely indicative of what's to come in the playoffs, and an in-form Clippers team is just as good as any other team in the Western Conference. Guys, let me know what you feel to be the ceiling of this Clippers team this season. Are they the 2nd best team in the Western Conference? Plus, do you realistically see them making it an interesting series if they were to match up against the OKC Thunder in the later rounds of the postseason? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to know why NBA awards are very questionable and inherently flawed, check out the video above or check out the suggested video on the screen. Hope to see you all in the next one, and stay tuned.